This is Mr. Alexander, and you are watching my first ever IB Math Studies video. Here we are. We're going to do number sets and approximation and error. We'll start with number 1 here. Which of the following numbers put them in the appropriate place in the Venn diagram? So I'm going to start with 16, which is a natural number. It's a whole number. It's not negative. 1/4, that's a rational number. It's a number that can be expressed as a fraction. 2 is a natural number because it's one of the counting numbers. E, if you don't remember what E is, you've got a fancy E button in your calculator. Its second natural log, e to the first power, is just 2.718281828. It's an irrational number, which is a real number that cannot be expressed as a fraction. -6 is an integer, but not a natural number because the natural numbers are not negative. 1.64 is a number that can be expressed as a fraction. So is -1/2. In fact, it is a fraction. -pi is an irrational number, and so then therefore it's a real number. 0 is a natural number. And then -10.654, that's a number that could be expressed as a fraction, and therefore it is a rational number. So that's how you do number 1 on the homework there. That's all that we did with the number sets. So I want to jump into rounding now. Specifically, I want to talk about significant figures. Write the number of significant figures. Well, there's a 1 and a 6, that's 2. Now, any 0 that falls between 2 significant figures is also significant. So this has 3 significant figures. On this one, 200, it depends on how you look at it. That 2 and that 200 is definitely significant. So you might be inclined to say that there is 1 significant figure, but because it depends on the context of the problem, it could be 1, 2, or 3. So it doesn't really matter what you write there, 1, 2, or 3. I would accept it. I give you full credit for that. Now here, these zeros, any zeros to the left, those are never significant. Therefore, this has 1 significant figure. It's just a 2. That's a repeat. This last one, the 1, the 2, and the 9 are definitely significant. So you could put 3 there. But depending on the context of the problem, that 0 might be significant as well. So I'm going to say this is 3 or 4. Those are the first 2 problems on the homework. Number 3. We are writing these numbers correct to 3 significant figures. Well, that's going to be 2970 because it rounds down since the last one's a 1 and not a 5. 0 is not significant. The 3, the 2, now that 5 is going to become a 6. We're going to round it up because of that 9 right there. That's 3 significant figures. 10400 is 3 significant figures. That 0 falls between the 1 and the 4, therefore it is significant. And last but not least, 0.501. That 0 is not significant, but that 0 is. And so those are all 3 significant figures. Alright, calculate the square root of square root 8.7 plus 2 times 1.6, 1.6, arrow over, divided by, parentheses, 0.3 raised to the 4th power. Like that, close the parentheses. It should be 0.3, sorry. And that gives us about 425.8811929. So the 1 significant figure, that's just going to be 400. Because the 4 is significant, and it's not 500, because in order for it to be 500, this would have to be greater than 450. 3 significant figures then, it's 426. It's not 425 because that next digit is greater than 5, so we round it up. 1 decimal place, well, that would be 425.8. Sorry, 425.9. Since it's an 88, you round it up to a 9. And then to the nearest hundredth, that's 2 decimal places. So that's 425.88. Alright, last one, then this video is over. Let A equal 5.2 and B equals 4.7. Find the exact value of 3 times A plus B to the third power. So 3 times A is 3 times 5.2 plus 4.7 raised to the third power. So the exact value of that is 119.423. I'm just going to write that down. 119.423. Zena estimates that the answer to part A is 140. Find the percentage error made by Zena in her estimation. So remember that it's going to be the absolute value of the of the approximated 140 minus the exact divided by the exact. Times 100%. That'll give us the percentage. So at this point it's calculator work. 140 minus 119.423. Divide that by 119.423. Multiply it by 100. And you've got 17 point... Well, you've got a really long answer here. On the IB exam, you're going to want to either round to 3 significant figures or you're going to want to write the exact answer that's given to you. If it doesn't specify, those are the 2 rules. Now, if they tell you use 4 significant figures, 5 significant figures, 1 significant figure, do that. But if it doesn't specify, just go ahead and round it to 3 significant figures. And that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.